Hey, it's Harry here. I'm here with Miska Toivonen, the co-founder with Thomas Klaassen
Hmm.
of CrossFit Wolverines, CrossFit Sörnäinen.
CrossFit Sörnäinen, yeah.
Yeah.
We wanted it to be CrossFit Wolverine, but the affiliate name was already taken by a Texan CrossFit box
Okay, and that's your
back
logo.
in the days.
Yeah. And that's your logo, the Wolverines.
Yeah.
Okay, and you told me why. You told me, nice. I think you told me why before. That was there was a reason behind that, wasn't there?
Hmm. Yeah, the Wolverine is a tiny animal, this big. It's like a mix between a bear and a wolf, perhaps. But still, it can lay down a full elk or a full moose or a reindeer, and then carry it all the way up onto a treetop and bury it there for later purposes. So it's a really, really badass animal.
Cool. So you are a coach at the box here in Helsinki. So how did it all start?
It was back in 2009, 8 something. I was still living in Sweden, and I was looking into creating a business actually, because I wanted to have a business of my own, and I was looking at boot camp or like military kind of training, and then somebody told me to look into CrossFit, because it seemed like a good fit, and he had some friends or some acquaintances who did CrossFit along the riverbank in Linköping in Sweden.
Cool.
So I googled it. I did a workout in my own gym, and I was baffled at how efficient it felt.
Yeah. Okay. And you started doing outdoor classes in Helsinki, right? And there's a few pictures of those on the Instagram. And then you got this place, which is I think you said it was one of the first CrossFit boxes in Helsinki. Pretty cool.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
When we started in Helsinki, there were maybe 3 other boxes, or just one in the sort of city center region.
Yeah. And when I first did a class here, what I found different from this place as opposed to other kind of boxes that I went to is this fact of really personal touch, and you and Thomas were really giving each client or each CrossFitter the focus that they need, and really focus on the attention, and it felt like kind of one big family. And I guess that's kind of what you were going for, right?
Yeah, it's by design. We want it to be a family business and have sort of the feel of a familiar place.
Yeah.
A little bit like a social hub, sort of.
Yeah. Awesome. So there's one thing I hear that people who are just wanting to get fit or improve their health in some way, they say that they feel intimidated by the word CrossFit. They say to me because they feel that it might be too intense and just too much for them. So what's your response to that, to total beginners who want to start out and they just want to get fit and try something different?
Mm-hmm. I totally get that, because every time I walk into a new CrossFit box, if I'm traveling and I go to New York and I want to visit a box there, I'll feel intimidated. I've done it for 10 years. I own a box, but I still feel scared about going into a new box. But the thing about CrossFit is that maybe what you see on YouTube is the 0.01% of the athletes,
Okay.
the ones that are elite. But really, it's a program that is designed from the beginning for anybody, really.
Yeah.
It's like Glassman says, that the needs of an 85-year-old grandmother and the Olympic lifting athlete, it's the same needs, it's just different degrees.
Yeah. Okay.
Both of us need to know how to sit down or pick something up from the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. That's totally true. That's awesome. Okay. Let's have a quick sip of coffee. Yeah, that is totally true. I think people these days are focusing more on the longevity of fitness, and like how to be fit and kind of like for the rest of their life kind of thing. Yeah. And that kind of brings me to the next point, which is people like me who are already into fitness. There's kind of a motion that I hear, like a murmuring going around that I've heard it a few times, that CrossFit is just like an easy way to get injured. Yeah, CrossFit, that's what they said. So I'll redo that. Or I'll just cut this bit out. Yeah, so I guess what do you think about that? Like when people say that CrossFit is an easy way to get injured. I've heard it maybe a couple of times, or a little murmur going around.
It's a valid point, perhaps. I mean, all sport is dangerous. Then again, it's even more dangerous not to do any sport at all.
Yeah.
And I'd say that with a coach who is there specifically to make sure that people don't get injured, it's much easier to stay safe. And with when we're doing a screening of the athlete, we'll be looking at muscle balance numbers and making sure that there is work done to keep the shoulders safe.
Yeah.
Or knees.
Yeah.
Or hips, or whatever the problem might be.
Yeah.
So we'll be working, or we are working, really specifically on keeping people safe.
Yeah.
All the time, both in group classes, but then also in private sessions, which is included in all memberships.
Yeah. And you have a beginner program, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have. Well, it's called on-ramp in CrossFit. It's like a course. Ours is 6 classes, where we go through the basic movements, how to move safely, how to keep the spine intact.
Nice.
And
like everything, like I guess the foundations you need, so you just don't break yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and so we've kind of touched about like the beginners, and then the, I guess, more advanced or the intermediate people. And what about is there a place here for the advanced athlete? I remember you were talking before. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We do have people who are on national level. The difference is that if you're working out on a national level, which is like Finnish championships or such, then probably you won't be doing 1 workout or 5 workouts a week. Then you probably need 8 workouts a week. Okay. And a specific program that works on your weaknesses, maybe also looking extra on recovery. So it needs to be more systematic the higher the level is.
Awesome.
And in that case, it goes into individual programming or individual coaching.
Awesome.
Instead of group workouts.
Awesome. So what would someone do to like start up with you guys? Like
there's 2 ways. Either the beginner's course, if one feels like one wants to start in group, then that's one way to go. But if one prefers to go more sort of privately or working one-on-one with a coach, then there's an option of starting with PT sessions instead.
Awesome. And www.crossfitsörnäinen.com.
Yes. .com, exactly.
.com. Awesome. All right.